Hi, I'm Sveta, and today I'm going to talk how we implemented a telemetry collection using Memphis.dev. So as we know, a telemetry collection is a collection of sources from different remote sources into central location in order to monitor and observe them. So we have to ask ourselves if we want to use open source solution or a managed solution. We know the differences. One is more flexible, cheap, easy, and one is managed for us and removes all the heavy lifting and all the working around it. Memphis is an event streaming platform, which is basically a new streaming stack, which includes a smart message broker, schemaverse, features like schema management, functions, stateless functions, and connections with SDKs and HTTP requests. We started as an open source. We know the community, we feel the community, we know what features are requested, but eventually we don't know how the users are going to act after the feature released. So we want to understand how the usage, how they embrace the features, how they act with the features. So we chose one managed solutions, and basically the brokers of the users sent these messages, is this telemetry traces to telemetry solution. And we wanted to manage everything in one place, so the data moved to BigQuery in order to see it in Tableau. Then we started to experience downtimes. As much as the usage increased, the pricing increased, and it was a little bit too complicated to us to use all the built-in features in the solution. So as we said, this was only a station on the way, so just understood, we make stations, we make smart stations. So let's replace the solution with Memphis stations. You can call it a topic, a queue. We just push the messages of the traces to Memphis station and then to BigQuery, and that's what we done. The brokers of the users sent messages to Memphis stations. Then we create consumers that push the messages, the data into BigQuery, and then the Tableau stays the same. It was a minimum changes that we had to do in order to manage it to work. So that's what's supposed to be a GIF. But the GIF said, I swear I do everything myself. I needed to manage everything, so I didn't get the features of the enrichment of the data. I didn't get the geolocations. I just explained later. So the change of the code was very minimal. We just had to replace the connection from the managed solution to our station, just connected, and produced it to a new station that called user traces. Very easy. And then the data starts to enter the Memphis stations. There's the station overview. We can see the producers, which are the connected brokers, and the data, the telemetry data, entered the station, and then we created consumers according to the business logic. The consumer, as I told you before, I had to create the functions by myself, so I had more flexibility. So instead of only to see all the geolocations that, for example, I could create a function by myself with cheap IP stack that I got the geolocation. I also could post to Slacks, for example, traces of support tickets, which was more flexible to me. And the upload to BigQuery function that I had before, I just pushed the messages from the consumer to BigQuery according to the schema that I had already in BigQuery from the previous solution. And now, as I do it myself, I have to manage everything, so I need to scale. I want these traces to be in almost real time, so sometimes when there are many messages inside the station, I had to increase the number of the consumers, so this is the way I did it. Also, I use one of the features of remote storage. When the retention time, when message gets the retention time, I moved it to remote storage S3 in order to allow me to analyze afterwards. And the geolocation, for example, gave me the option to understand where the users are located, what are the time zones, differences. I could create events in their other time zones to understand a little bit the culture more. The errors, I wanted to know if our users experience the errors before they know them that themselves. For example, it's from one of the previous versions. I could see the colors. I can understand what are the errors before the user and fix them before they even notice. And the features, as I told you, I don't know how the users are going to react to the features. I want to see who installed, why installed, what is the user journey inside the system, inside our broker. So that allowed me to understand it a little bit better. For summary, I don't know if I'm going to stay with this solution because this is easy for us now. Maybe I will want to switch to another managed solution. But the way that we do it, just collect data inside to Memphis, move it to BigQuery, and then to Tableau to visualize everything. Thank you.